Hey, cut it out.
Oh, fancy a kiss, darling. Fancy a kiss. On your way. Wait, stop it.
That was nice.
Look, up there. There you go. Now, look, over there. No, here. Go back. Over here, Grandad. Look, come on, Grandad. You're up, boys. You're just here, boys. Here. Go on. Come on, Grandad. Go catch that ball.
All right, lads, can't pack it in. That's enough. That's enough.
Put this back.
Oh,
Let go.
Man, what are you doing? Hey! Come on.
What have I done?
Nicking from a till. I'm nicking you.
Nah.
Come on.
There's also a high number of racial incidents reported. It's a tendency that's been there for several months.
Yeah, there's more being reported, so yes, shows more trust in the police.
Yes, possibly. They're just the sort of figures, though, that are going to alert the busybodies at area. That's why they're sending somebody down here to check that Sunhill isn't a hotbed of racism.
The local community relations men are doing a good job. We don't need any interference. We don't have any more incidents than any other.
Don't tell me, Derek. Tell him when he arrives.
Norika, a domestic for you.
Sounds exciting, Sarge.
Think I'm ready for it?
Family with the name of Gopal.
I wonder where they can be from.
Coiners Road, number 54. The daughter phone seemed to be a lot of shouting going on. I'm sure you can sort it out as our resident expert in ethnic matters.
I was born in Uxbridge.
Nobody's perfect.
Yes, come in. Ah,
Mr. Brownlow. Superintendent Jarvie, pleased to meet you, sir.
nice to meet you. This is Derek Conway, my Chief Inspector Operations.
We've met.
Oh, yes. We were inspectors together. Long time ago, eh, Derek?
Yes.
Well, do sit down.
Well, now, the figures suggest that you have a problem here at Sunhill, and I suggest that I might be able to help you with it.
Well, we could do with all the help we can get.
Yes, if we need it.
Oh, I think you do. The figures over recent months are not impressive, sir, I'm afraid. A mixed ethnic area like this always has its problems. My job is to point them out, so that officers, lower ranks mainly, can no longer choose to ignore them.
Well, I'm sure there's always something to learn, eh, Derek?
Yes, sir. I look forward to being instructed.
Sir?
Are you the life and soul of the party?
I've had my moments, sir.
Have you ever stolen a button or a pin?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Neither do I, but we are required to complete a questionnaire on the stress caused by break-ins and thefts.
What, to us?
Don't be naive, June. It's to help a psychiatrist, University Department of Criminology. Go and ask the victims, the half a dozen names there. It's voluntary, of course.
Well, can't they do their own research? How many questions are there?
Only 150.
Have you ever considered revenge against the perpetrator of the crime against you?
Mention the victim support group. Ask if they know of its existence.
Yes, sir. I'll make it my 151st question.
Good.
What would you like to do while you're here, sir?
Meet the officers here, discuss, advise, offer my experience for their instruction. Is that all right with you?
Anything you like, sir. Just don't expect me to be impressed.
Derek, about the tip-off that time. I had my reasons for not taking your advice.
Yeah, and a good copper was invalided out because you let that co-op blag go off just so that you could grab the glory. You could have prevented that robbery.
I was in control. I made my decisions. I stand by them still. I will not discuss it. I will forget this conversation. I want to be informed of all ethnic minority persons detained for whatever reason, starting from now.
Certainly, sir.
Mrs. Gopal? Yes? WPC data from Sunhill Police Station. Have you got a problem?
There were words between them.
Between Mr. Gopal and...
Sonora, our eldest daughter.
She is no longer our daughter. She was brought up by a relative in Bombay. She has changed, become a fast woman.
A career woman.
All right. Let's talk to her, shall we? Where is she?
This way.
Miss Gopal, I'm from Sunhill Police Station. I believe you telephoned.
Yes, I telephoned. You are a policewoman?
Yes. Now, what seems to be the problem?
Ask her why she should lock herself away.
I can ask my own questions, Mr. Gopal.
I was waiting for her. For an officer of the law. I wish to bring a charge of assault against him.
Against your father?
He struck me. Here, see the mark, the blood? You deserved it. No respect for the parents. Be quiet. Well, what are you waiting for, officer? Arrest him!
Never mind what his stupid old Pratt says. I didn't take anything.
Sergeant Peters saw you.
Saw me what? Do what?
Put your hand in the till.
God is thick. I was leaving money, not taking it.
Oh.
That's not a crime with you lot, is it? Paying for things?
Yeah, a bit of blood. You could call it common assault, but it's borderline ABH.
Try and calm them down. They don't really want to go to court, do they?
Well, it's the daughter. I think she's being a bit
bloody minded.
Have another go.
If you still want an official, then bring them all in. Let the surgeon take a look at her. Take statements, then we'll see.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Sarge.
All part of the service.
You were doing a title against women. You must arrest my father. You are witness to his violence. My fear, my injury.
Mr. Gopal, would you mind coming down to the station where we can talk this over?
No.
Mr. Gopal, if you come down to the station, we can have your daughter examined by the doctor and I can get her to make a proper statement. Perhaps by then she will have calmed down and we can save embarrassment. I really think you should come down to the station, sir.
If I must.
Sierra Oscar from 181 receiving, over.
Go ahead, 181.
Why are you doing this?
Transport, please, Sarge. 2 to come in.
How many questions? How's it going to help, anyway?
Well, the experts to start off with.
Experts? What do they know?
And then they pass the findings on to us. It can be very helpful. It can give us an insight into the way that we...
Insight, darling? You don't need insight. You need more men on the beat.
Well, if we knew more about victim stress, then we could ask for more funds for support groups.
Do you consider yourself a violent person? They're asking me if I'm a villain.
No, you have to look at the questions as a whole.
You should have asked the kids what done my office safe. 100 hours community they got. Ask the courts why. Ask the parents. Ask anyone, lady, but don't ask me. 'Cause I'm one of the old school, and I was brought up not to swear in front of females. OK?
Something the matter, sir?
What's that boy doing in there?
I caught him robbing a till, sir.
That is Jamir Goodwin.
Know him, do you, sir?
I certainly do. He's the eldest son of Aslam Goodwin, chairman of this area's Community Relations Committee, leader of the Asian community. A fine man, a respected colleague of mine. I'd better go and speak to him.
Superintendent Jarvis from TO30, Community Liaison.
Oh, I see, sir. That explains it.
Have you decided on a charge against... what's his name?
Jamir Goodwin, sir.
Yeah, not yet, sir. We haven't got a witness.
Apart from me.
Yeah, all right, Alec. We spoke to the shopkeeper about the money missing out of the till, but he's not sure.
I caught him taking the money, sir.
He denies everything, absolutely and categorically.
Well, he would, sir, wouldn't he?
I believe him. Jameer's father is a wealthy man. There's no reason for him to steal. I know his family. You've made a mistake. He was frightened by you running towards him, so he panicked. Understandable to anyone who had any ethnic sensitivity. Who's the custody sergeant?
I am, sir.
There's insufficient evidence.
Can I decide on that, sir?
Did you hear me, Sergeant?
Yes, sir, I did. And I hope you heard what I said. I am custody officer on duty in this station. Now, I don't know how long it is since you were operationally involved in the running of a police station. But as custody officer, I decide who's being charged and who isn't.
This isn't an ordinary matter. You could be igniting a powder keg. Have you forgotten about Brixton and Broadwater Farm?
I was at Broadwater. I didn't see you, sir.
Sergeant, let an expert decide.
An expert?
Can we discuss this?
I thought we were.
In my office.
As you please.
do we get these dead legs from?
From the knacker's yard. Useless at anything else, so they're promoted to where they can do the most harm.
What about this kid?
He was nicking. I saw it.
Your chief superintendent said you were to support my decisions.
The rules of PACE say that the responsibility for criminal charges lies with the custody sergeant. That officer on this relief on this day is Sergeant Cryer. Not me, not you.
I've been in racist stations like this before.
That's rubbish.
Custody sergeants pressing charges just to spite me, supported by superior officers who resent my promotion above them.
What are you trying to say?
That you and Sergeant Cryer want to press charges against that boy because his skin happens to be darker than yours.
There's no point making your headline-grabbing statements here. You haven't got an audience. There's no press.
Those are offensive remarks, Chief Inspector. I shall have to report them.
And I shall deny them. Within these four walls, I'll say exactly what I want. This is my nick, and it's a good nick. You come in here setting yourself up as some sort of crusader, spouting a load of jargon that you picked up on some course, and bullying a custody sergeant who's a better copper than you'll ever be.
You're a resentful man, Derek. That's probably what's held you back.
Out, sir.
Did he have anything in his pocket he could have bought?
There wasn't anything.
Did you ask him?
I've done this sort of thing before, you know, Bob. He said he was paying for an apple that he dropped when I dived in.
Well, it sounds possible.
Oh, come off it. Next thing he'd be accusing me of robbing the till and him making a citizen's arrest.
Alec! It's not that big a deal.
It is in principle.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Mrs. Dakin, these are only questions. They're an attempt to help the victims of burglary, both now and in the future.
Stress? You want me to talk to you about that thing?
Well, you reported the theft of a sum of money from this flat. It was £105, and your husband reported the loss
I
on
thought you'd found out who had stolen it.
No, it's still on the unsolved list.
Oh.
I don't understand. You don't want the theft solved?
Yes.
You wouldn't want the thief to get away with it.
Thieves should be punished.
The money was definitely stolen.
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Dakin, you know who the thief was, don't you?
My man would kill him. He hates crime. You mustn't tell him. The money's gone. Gambled. Gone. My son, Mel. He will never do it again. Promise me you won't name him.
I can't promise yes or no, Mrs. Dakin. Look, I only wanted to ask you a few questions.
And I want to answer them.
Right. Are you the life and soul of the party?
I love a party. I haven't cleared up after the last one yet. You won't say nothing, will you?
This way, please. Would you wait here a moment, please? Thank you.
They're named Gadwani.
No, Gopal. Now, don't say we all look the same, Sarge.
You're wasting your time with this lot.
Why?
Only nicking whites today.
I made up my mind before. Only Alec Peters' word as evidence. Kid's got no record. The CPS never proceed with it.
OK.
Mr. Brownlow asked me about it, but I told him it was my decision, regardless of advice.
OK, thanks, Bob. Objectivity is the thing. You're probably right.
Well, I might be wrong, but at least I made up my own mind.
Give my very best wishes to your father, Jimmy.
I'll tell him.
I simply want you to talk to each other about this.
A father has the right to chastise his daughter.
To strike her? To do violence to her? To do this? To draw blood?
Mr. Gopal, can I talk to your daughter alone? Would you wait outside a minute, please, sir?
What are we waiting for? Throw him into a cell. Teach him a lesson. Show him the world has changed. Moved on everywhere except this backwater.
I cannot listen.
Dinosaur.
OK, sir. If you'd like to take a seat.
I live in Bombay. I'm just visiting London. I was brought up by my aunt. She gave me freedom. What do I find here? Do this, don't go out.
My dad was like that, till I trained him.
You are cleverer than I. I can only fight.
Why'd you have to fight with your dad?
I could return to Bombay, but my sisters will be left here with him. They will have to put up with his tyranny. But if they know the law will protect them, they can bid for freedom like ours.
Don't you think that's a bit extreme?
No?
It is the shame of it. My community. People pointing and saying he cannot control his family. She made me so angry. Sir, I'm not a violent man. A tiny little smack. Now she wants me to be imprisoned?
You won't be. Don't worry. Now then, I'll sort it out. Where's your daughter? You wait here.
Maybe this is enough. Maybe you've taught him a lesson now.
Do you think so?
Now, what's all this wasting of police time?
Who are you?
Superintendent Jarvie. I know all about your case, young lady, and I have to tell you, there could be serious trouble for you unless all this nonsense stops.
You see this? I want charges brought against the man who did it. And I am making those charges. Do you understand? Well, do it!
Now, you're upset at the moment, but when you calm down, you'll realise you don't want the shame of going to court over a family disagreement.
I know what I am doing. Tell me. Show me why I cannot bring a charge against my father. Because he is a father? Stalin was a father.
He is your father, your family, the head. Duty? You know your place, he has his. Surely you must...
Stop this! Do I have to talk to this person? Do you not employ somebody who understands the modern Asian community? Who was that cretin?
Area Community Liaison Officer. His aim is to bring Asians and the community together. Top man in his field. Look, let's get out of here. There's another room where we won't be disturbed. Bit of peace and quiet to turn over what's best.
I'm not changing my mind.
No, of course not. How could you?
Who's the exotic one?
Oh, surely you know Narika, Tosh.
Aren't you Miss Sharp and Witty?
No, anything but. I've just been asking 755 daft questions.
What's that, the burglary stress question, eh?
Yeah.
You should have done what I did.
Yeah?
Uniformer said, Inspector Monroe said, and he passed it on to you.
Thanks a bunch.
Wait, come across anything we might have missed or need to know?
No, Tosh, nothing you need to know.
That.
You got servants?
Of course.
But you work.
Yes, I have a career.
My parents had servants in Uganda before they were expelled.
Were you born here?
Yeah.
Not quite so brave then for you to have this job as a policewoman.
Ugh, don't you believe it? My father had 40 fits. But I proved I was serious, did the training, survived my first posting. And I'm here now. And my dad, well, we went up to this wedding in Huddersfield, right? And like everyone knew me as being that very fine policewoman from London.
Your father had been talking?
Yeah, boasting. Our parents need time, that's all.
It's different for you.
Now it is. I better see the custody sergeant. He'll need to fill in the charge sheet against your father.
Yes.
I'll inform him that you won't change your mind, neither will you compromise about the charge of assault.
Why should I?
It's not for me to say, Sonora.
But you have an opinion.
Okay, yeah. You'll change nothing by this. I'm an outsider, but I can see one thing. You and your father are very alike.
Stubborn. Yes. I am like him. I have a strong character.
Well, why not show your strength of understanding? Show your father that you understand his way of thinking, and then show him how the world's changing.
I will consider what you say.
Did you see that? He nicked it right under your nose. Must be mad.
Get your hands up, I'm not running away.
Jamie, good warning. I'm arresting you for the theft of a portable radio. And I must caution you not obliged to say anything about anything you do say may be using evidence.
Yeah, stuff it.
Come on then, little ride back to the Nick.
I can't leave the store, mate.
No, there's no problem. Someone will be down later. Get a statement.
Thank you.
I don't understand you. You're a wealthy lad.
Why should you? An old man like you. You and my father. Old, respectable.
What's your dad going to say?
All right.
What's he going to say?
Who cares? My mates know now I'm not on his side. Goody, goody, do gooder. See, I'm on their side, not his. I'm not afraid of nicking. I'm not scared of you or the consequences. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jamia, where are you go?
Caught him lifting this, sir.
Jamia?
Well, like he says.
You've got a witness.
This time I have. Yes, sir.
I've just had another murder thought.
Because anyone with any sense would be fast asleep themselves, wouldn't they?
Of course I would. I said I've just had another murder thought.
Well, if it's any help to Mary, I couldn't sleep either.
Oh, well, it's all right for you day patients. You live at home, don't you?
So why don't you ask Mary why she couldn't sleep?
Because I'm not interested, that's why. The old bag wants to go walking around the wards all night.
Oh, no! Julie, get right. I'm sorry, but I had another murder thought and no one was listening to me.
So, Kenneth Arthur Brand, what have you got for me?
Nothing.
Nothing? Well, what do you expect, Ed? We can't get near the man. Nobody can. And the staff at the bank?
We talked to them all again. They've got nothing more to say.
They just want to know when their boss is coming back. They're concerned about him.
Oh, they're concerned about him, are they? Well, I hope they're equally concerned about us finding the people who robbed that precious bank. Killing and maiming in the process.
Of course they are.
Good. Right, let's have a look at it. What have we got to date? We've got one bank in Chalmers Lane and 3 jokers still unaccounted for who knocked the place over.
One death.
One death. One serious injury and a bank manager who's decided to have a nervous breakdown on the strength of it all.
Well, he has been put through it.
According to him, yes. Except now we get information telling us that the same thing happened to the same man once before. Taken from his home, held hostage, and forced to open his bank to the kind of scum that have no regard whatsoever for public safety. Now, events like that do not happen twice. Not down to the last detail. Not to anyone. And that makes him sus in my eyes.
And mine. It's all here. Walhurst near Nottingham, 8 years ago. Our respectable Mr. Brand was only an assistant manager then, but he was in charge when it all happened.
There's almost no difference.
I know. So, Action 22. We'll have another look at the area where Brand reckons he was being held. Action 23, have another chat with the bank staff.
But we've just done that.
We'll do it again. 110 grand, James. That's what these monkeys got away with.
But what's the point if we can't talk to the man himself?
We can't, I've already said. He's found himself a place of safety. We can't get near him.
Oh, yes, we can. We can't question Brand, but we can get near him.
The big meeting yesterday, it was suggested that maybe Roach should be allowed back into this group. Does anyone have anything to say about that?
Yes, we don't want her back.
Why? You know why.
She's too violent.
Right. She should be in some state hospital somewhere, under section.
Viv Martella?
Yeah.
What, you stuck Viv Martella in the bug house?
Why not? There's no one better qualified.
But shouldn't we care about her?
No, why should we?
You don't have to live with her, do you? You can go home at night. You don't have to see her eating cotton wool sandwiches every time she swallows another load of broken glass and razor blades.
She is. She's too violent.
What about you, Ken?
Me?
Yes. Do you have anything to say about that? About violence? You were a victim of it recently, weren't you? When your bank was robbed.
Yes. I was a victim.
Mr. Brand? We just want to know how you get on with him.
Get on with him?
Yes, you know. What kind of a boss he is. What sort of a working relationship you have with him. That kind of thing.
Well, we have a very satisfactory relationship. Ken Brand's a good man to work for. You're a bit of a worrier sometimes, but then aren't we all? I'm sorry, I don't quite see what all this...
I believe his marriage is up the creek.
It's what?
Well, didn't his wife put it around a bit until she finally ran off with someone else 10 years younger?
How would I know? Why don't you ask him?
We can't. Now, how did this affect him?
I would imagine that it affected him pretty badly, wouldn't you?
I mean, financially.
You know how it is. Some marriage bust-ups can cause a sudden cash flow out of the home. It happens to a lot of people. I'm sure in your line of business, you'd be the first to acknowledge that.
Yes, but as far as I'm aware, Ken Brand had no such problems.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mays.
One thing. The bank raid. Being taken hostage, being threatened with a marking up, being robbed of a large amount of money. Now, did you know that that happened to Mr. Brand before?
No, I didn't know that.
So, how are things on the funny farm?
Want another one of those?
No, thanks. This is an art centre, isn't it? Someone ought to tell these people. Making tea is an art. That's supposed to be some form of punishment. So what about Mr. Brand? Has he had anything to say for himself yet?
No.
But you're still listening, still watching.
As best I can, yes. He's in there full time, I'm not.
Well, we can always arrange to have you in there on the section. Make you one of the home team.
No, thank you.
What's wrong?
At the clinic, how many people know what I'm up to? How many people know I'm not a real patient?
No one. I arranged everything from outside. There was no problem. I said, what's wrong?
I don't like what I'm doing.
What do you mean you don't like what... You can have that. I'll hang on to these. Now, you listen, Viv. You're supposed to be helping us. CID work, it was what you wanted, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, that's what you've got. You just remember one dead woman and one child maimed for life outside that bank. They were just passers by, that's all. Just minding their own business.
I haven't forgotten.
Good. Because our Mr. Kenneth Brand has done all right for himself, hasn't he? Found himself a nice, safe place to hide away from all his troubles. Well, if he thinks he can hide away inside a loony bin...
It's not a loony bin. It's a rehabilitation centre.
Okay. You call it what you want. Except it's still registered under the Mental Health Act. Which means that Brand can be considered incompetent to give evidence. Nice touch. Except that in my book, there is no such thing as a safe place. No one's safe. Anywhere.
All this was 8 years ago.
Yes, sir.
It's almost identical to what he told us a month ago.
And on both occasions, he seems to have given the same reason for his mental blackout.
Fear.
And shock. Mind you, that's understandable.
Is it? I mean, look at it. It's almost word for word. I'm surprised he didn't run away and hide in a nut house on that occasion as well.
Sorry, I can't match that up for you.
Give me the journey again.
It was late in the evening when they grabbed him and blindfolded him. They took a lot of different roads, but the journey was no more than 20 minutes.
So what's he telling us? Nothing.
Very little traffic. Smooth road surface. Traffic lights on 2 occasions, or maybe 3. 2 humpback bridges close together on a very sharp bend, sort of like a switchback.
Humpback bridges.
Oh, what about canals or railways?
No. We've checked. Nothing. Never mind. Do you know something? When we asked Brand what he could sense while he was being held overnight, he said the only thing he could remember was the sound of a combine harvester outside and a smell of corn being cut.
Oh, I read that.
In the middle of town? Nothing down there about him having the same hallucination 8 years ago, is there?
I did look.
Pity.
A world away and far off to bed, and the white hell that rages round the ice beats of Mount Everest. The world's greatest detective and his faithful companion tenfold stand atop this lofty finger of the Himalayas. Nice view.
Fancy a game? You know, table tennis. Play it, do you? Table tennis.
So what's wrong with you?
Me?
Yes. You've been here a couple of days, you don't say much, you just sit there. So I'm asking, what's wrong with you?
Well,
Are you watching me? Is that what you're up to?
Me? No.
You people. You never give up, do you?
I'm blindfolded, okay?
Right.
I'm taken out of my house, along the path, and into a car. Now, I don't know whether the car drives to the left, to the right, does a U-turn, or takes part in the trooping of the colour. All I do know is that I'm driven about 1.5 miles away from my home.
You going to drive like that?
No, short turn.
Thought it might be.
When are we going to reintroduce smoking to the group meetings? When not? Well, I can't think without a fag. I can't think when windows are being smashed either.
Yeah, don't stop you from talking now, does it?
Oh yeah, up you too, sunshine.
The area that Brand reckons he was driven to. What did he say it was like?
Well, from what he could hear, he reckoned it was a built-up area.
Thought so.
Not very busy, but well lived in.
Well lived in? Come on, let's try southeast.
So how long have they had a contraflow system here? For more than a month, you reckon?
Something like that, yeah.
At night in a strange car, unable to see, and spooked out your skull. You'd be forgiven for thinking these were humpback bridges, wouldn't you?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost track of time.
It's okay. We were talking about Colin and what we can do to help him with his murder thoughts.
It's easy. Kill him.
That's typical of you, isn't it?
Well, it's obvious them thoughts of his don't mean nothing, do they? I mean, look at him. He wouldn't hurt a fly, would you, Colin?
Then why does he have those thoughts?
Because he just wants attention, that's why.
Of course he does.
Well, don't we all?
No.
I don't.
You lying old tart.
If you talk to me like that again,
I've never wanted to hurt anyone. Ever.
I have. The tax man.
Even my wife. Well, when she walked out on me, made a fool of me, I didn't...
What? You mean you didn't feel like stopping her and thumping her?
Oh, no, never.
I would. I'd have done the cow some mischief.
No, I could never do that.
Well, what about when those men held you hostage overnight and robbed your bank? You must have felt like hurting someone then.
Well, I know. I was too frightened then to think of anything.
He's been through it, hasn't he?
Yes.
Well, you don't have to worry about nothing now, all right? Because you're with us.
Thanks.
I'd like to ask him something about violence.
Yes.
Down in the recreation room earlier, you accused me of watching you. Remember? You also said something about people like me never giving up. That was before you started throwing the furniture around. So what's all that supposed to mean? Who am I supposed to be?
You mean you don't know?
All right. You tell me.
People like you make me sick. You make me want to throw up. Just because you happen to be the so-called weaker sex, you think that gives you the right to flaunt yourself, to offer yourself to just about anyone. I'd never mind the pain you cause in the process. Never mind making an out-and-out fool of the person close to you, the person who cares for you most. No, just walk out when it suits you best. That's the way, isn't it? People like you, you're always waiting, aren't you? Always waiting for a chance to do some more damage. Why don't you get the hell out of here?
What do you mean we've got it wrong?
I think the man's genuinely ill.
Oh, and I suppose that's your professional opinion, is it?
Yes.
All right, then, Freud. He's not bent and he's not doolally. What is he?
I don't know. I reckon he's the kind of person that things happen to. All the bad luck. A kind of natural victim.
I knew I should never have let you into that place.
Some people were born to have trouble all their lives. We know that.
Yeah, except most of the Jonas I've met brought things on themselves. Viv!
You only have to look at the man to know what I'm talking about. You kind of feel that you want to do something to him and that... I mean, if I was a mugger and he was walking through these gardens, I'd have to mug him. I'd consider it my duty to mug him.
Yeah, and what's he doing? Conning you the way he's conned a lot of other people?
No!
Oh, come on, Viv. You're really letting me down on this, you know that?
Letting you down? I'm the one that's in the place, not you. I'm the one that's seeing it all.
Yeah, well, maybe you're seeing it all wrong.
Now, listen. You wanted me in the place. You asked me. You wanted me to give you an updated report, right?
Right.
Well, I'm giving it to you. The man's sick. He's busted up in his head. So let's just stop it here and there, OK? Let's just leave him alone. He's had enough.
Can't do that.
Can't do it?
No. Because as far as I'm concerned, that man's involved. Involved with those who robbed his bank. Now, he may have fooled the authorities and one or two other people, but he'd have to go well out of his way to fool me. The smell of cornfields, in darkest London. He'd made up his mind to look loopy right from the word go, because that's the way he planned it.
This lot is a Dawson stopover area. There's an old couple back there. They let out 2 top rooms to some fellas about a month ago. They haven't seen them since. They didn't even ask for a rent refund. They want the deposit back. So what the old couple doing? Complaining? No. The old lady, she's got a nose on her, she has. She reckons that one night when the fellas came back late, they had with them what looked like a drunk.
A drunk?
Well, you know, someone who couldn't manage by himself, needed help. And his description fitted Brand's. Come on.
Hey, Tosh,
What's up?
what's that smell like to you?
Harvest time. In the sticks.
Oh, hello.
I thought you were finished for the day.
Well, yes, I am. I thought I'd come back for an hour or two, help out in the vacation room.
I'm glad. I'm glad you've come back. You see, I want to apologise.
For what?
Well, for being unpleasant, for being rude to you earlier.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry. Honestly, forget it.
Can I...
Can you what?
Well, can I buy you a cup of tea?
In here.
What's that?
The bedroom.
I want forensic out here.
Already called him, Dov.
What's that over there?
The whole food bakery supplies. They do it all themselves. Grading, milling the lot. They even ship in their own grain. They dry it, sift it, grind it. Smells like summer.
The old codgers. You say they can give descriptions?
Yep.
Of all the people in this room?
The lot.
Great. So, Mr. Brand. He has to be straight after all. Doesn't he?
Kathy, you tell me something. There is such a thing as a born natural victim, isn't there?
Yeah, I should know. I was nearly a candidate myself once. What is it?
Can it be pure coincidence for Mr. Brand to have been held hostage and robbed twice in his career?
Of course. You only have to look closely at the two cases. It's only from 8 years' distance they appear to be identical. Then again, for the natural victim, nothing seems to change. Victimology, the study of the victim rather than the perpetrators of the crime. That's where the answers can sometimes lie. Like the same man who's been attacked in 3 different countries. Or certain women, something about them, some vulnerability. Singles them out as targets. Victims of circumstance, if you like. We all know the odds. We call it bad luck. But there are some people who are conned, or burgled, or robbed, or raped. When it's on the cards, it'll happen to them again.
Thank you.
I see you're not married.
That's right.
Have you ever been married?
No.
Very wise. I have, twice. Would you believe that my first wife also ran off with someone else? Well, she did.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Anyway, a nice-looking woman like you shouldn't be in here. You must get yourself better as soon as possible.
Oh, I intend to.
Good. And I'll help you. Well, I mean, they say we're supposed to help each other, don't they?
Yes, they do.
And to learn to trust each other. After all, that's half the battle. Learning to trust each other. Would you... Well, do you think perhaps we could be friends while we're here?
Of course. Why not?
Viv, there's a phone call for you.
Excuse me.
Viv, call it a day, will you?
What do you mean, call it a day?
You wind it up. You come home. You call it a day. I'll send a car for you.
You sure it's safe to let you out?
Do you mind? I'd like to get away from here as soon as possible.
Ah, keep taking the pills, eh? still. It's nice to have you back over here.
Hey, Richard, can you do me a favour? Take this up to Mr. Brownlow's office.
Yeah, sure, will do. Did you have the winch open or what?
Sorry?
Frankie B, he's here, yeah?
Frankie who?
Burnside. Frank. About so high and about this wide, looks like he eats slime for breakfast. Do you know him?
Yes.
Can I see him?
I need to know your name, sir. Are you expected?
No.
Would you like to tell me what this is about, sir?
If I wanted to tell you anything, I would have whistled my way in there and laid it down gospel. I would like to see Frank Burnside, please.
Listen, I'm not trying to be awkward, but there's certain information I need to get from you before I can offer you any help. I can't just let you wander up to CID because you've got a cute nickname for the DI.
CID? Burnside? Can't you find through?
Look, just
let it ring. 2, 3 times at the most. If he don't answer, then I'm dust.
Okay. Mr.
Just tell him. Tell Burnside. Tell him that Papa Reeves boy's here.
Michael Garner.
Where's my solicitor?
James Connolly.
Who?
Phelps.
What is he asking me?
He's asking you who helped you out in the building society.
There were 4, including yourself.
You're guessing.
Reeves? Yeah, well, I'll get it to him. Well, if you're worried, put him back through the doors and I'll get on to the governor as soon as I can. OK. Cheers. Bye. See you then.
See ya.
Oh, look, lads. Connolly's a bit rough. Watch him.
Brian, you were there. I've got you.
Let me say it slower, then you might hear me. I was sat in my soft and comfy armchair all that day, watching the St Ledger on my 24-inch.
I know. On your own. No get-together. No mates round with the 4-packs.
You charging me?
In time.
If you've got so much, why not now?
I want the names of the others, Phelps.
Leaving? Don't come back without my solicitor, eh? It's about time he was here. No more games.
He's pretty cool. Gov, why didn't you tell him we've got a photo?
Because we've been handing money here, Alistair, and I've got to push my luck.
Come on, OK, you're all right. Go on, go on, go on. And stop, 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 stop. I am not a billboard, madam. Go and try down at Boots. You've only got inches, all right? No, stop. Wait, 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 wait. Whoa, whoa.
Receiving, you there, June?
Yeah, just stay there, don't move.
June, receiving over.
Yeah, go ahead, Sue.
Where are you?
I am shopper hopping in the high road. Oi!
Sergeant, WPC Marshal will be working in here on a job for me. Could you arrange cover for an LIO?
Sir.
Do you want every call documented?
Split it into 2. I want to know which are criminal action and which are civil disputes. Could you let WPC Marshal know the nature of calls received?
Yes, sir.
And you too, Sergeant.
How'd you like to give a young flasher a scene to, June?
You sure she said Papa Reeves?
Yeah, and she said the boy didn't look too stable.
Right, cheers.
Who is Papa Reeves?
He's a very old friend.
Oh, sorry, sir. Oh, Frank, you've got those suggestions for me.
What's that, sir?
You've had a month to come up with suggestions for a 20% reduction in CID overtime, due in today.
Oh, yeah, I'll get it to you as soon as possible.
Good. I'll be in my office.
Right. Where is he? Dom, how are you?
All right.
Sorry for the wait. You been scaring my officers?
She called me sir. Twice.
Oh, well, that's community policing. Everyone gets called sir until proven guilty.
So when did you get to be, what is it?
Detective Inspector, CID.
And they figured you out yet?
Still the same old Dom. All mouth and more mouth.
Yeah. And you still look like you're doing undercover for the Cray twins.
Come on. So, what's with the cryptic message?
Oh, yeah.
How's the bakery?
Buzzing.
And how's he?
Papa? Not good.
Your mum?
Worse. She just discharged herself from hospital. She's, it's sickle cell, you know?
I didn't. Not that it was sickle cell.
She's had it on and off for years. She just... Like she's gone and got herself a lung infection. Not nice, you know?
No. I'll have to pop over and see her. Must be a weight on your dad.
No, not at all as it goes. He's got it well under control. Simple. He's decided the best thing all round is to kill her.
Come again.
Papa's gonna kill her.
What are you telling me, Dom?
No threat or nothing. Just looked at me. Came down from her room, looked at me and goes, your mother's had enough.
Come on.
Message for you, sir.
What is it?
Phelps' solicitor, Mr. Edwards.
What does he want?
He says Phelps' review time is up and he wants him released.
What? Not on your life. Ted! Look, until you hear otherwise, that is me and I am a memory.
I've just heard from Jim. He thinks they've got a lead on James Connolly, nothing on the others.
Right. Look, will you excuse me a minute, Dom? Look after Mr. Reese for me. Phelps' brief is here.
Oh, well, that's that then.
Now, look, I've got to make a visit, but I don't want Phelps out of here until I get back.
Is this something I should know about?
Ted, please.
How long's he gonna be?
I'll check.
Oh, and Ted, can you get someone to find out anything they can on sickle cell anemia?
Sickle cell? It's an hereditary illness, prevalent among black people.
Keep your voice down.
Oh, sorry. It's a blood disorder. Something to do with the blood cells changing shape and clogging in the veins.
Curable?
Well, not if it's sickle cell anemia, but then I'm...
Look, if you can find out anything else, get it to DC Lines.
Wonderful thing, education.
He gives us a test every now and then, just to see if we're human. The best way to deal with mouthwash like Brownlow is to keep them at arm's length. Grab your coat, Alistair, you're coming with me.
Go.
And Tosh, if you get anything from Michael or Jim, get it through to Alistair in the car. Ted?
Yeah?
Give that sickle cell stuff to Tosh as soon as possible, will you? And do us a favour.
I'm already doing you one.
Keep Brownlow away from me.
Oh, come on, I'm already juggling Phelps and his brief around.
Look, I don't want Brownlow feeling he needs to look down his bifocals at us. Throw him something. Alistair.
Yeah, like a grenade.
Oi! Bust them one by one. I want my trainers back
put that down! Don't you dare!
You bitch!
Don't you
You
dare!
hear me, can't you?
Give it to me. Drop it. Oh. Here. Come on. Now tell me what's going on.
What's this?
Put it on. You're blushing. Who's in the house?
Go on with you and come back serious.
Will you put this on and then we can talk about it?
I ain't putting on no crackling.
You cheeky little
No way.
writer.
Someone I know might spot me.
Alistair, stay here. If anything comes through, let me know.
Yeah.
Right. Dom! Wait for me.
What?
Look, I don't think your dad would be very pleased if he thought everyone knew what was going on here. So let's just calm down. As far as anyone else is concerned, I'm just here visiting my old manor. All right?
No, I just went in to talk to Papa Reeves. Where is he?
Restaurant's gone.
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the
Hey,
boy?
all right.
Upstairs.
He's grown up a bit.
Who's the mother boy?
Right.
Strength to strength. Good. Mr. Burnside!
Been a long time, Pascal.
Don't take away your uniform.
Frank, memories.
Oh, no. I've just had the asbestos lining removed from my stomach.
Hot.
Oh, vintage.
Papa? Papa? Frank, you found him yet?
Frank.
What have you done? Thought it was all over.
Just sleeping while she can.
Yeah, I know that now. What have you got yourself into?
I don't know, you know. She didn't want to stay in the hospital. What do you want me to do? Leave her there when it's home she wants.
Have you any idea of what you're planning? Euthanasia is illegal. It's murder. Do you know what that means?
Okay, Frank.
It means you'll get banged up for murder.
He ain't hearing you.
So you're gonna arrest me? You can do that?
Yeah. I'm just the one to do that. Look, you do something off the straight and narrow, and yeah, I'll arrest you.
I know that.
Have you discussed this with Glynis?
Yeah, she who tell me.
She never said that.
Boy, I know your mother for 20 years before you meet her. I know what she tells me when she tells me something.
Go on. Leave it.
No, Frank. Actually, no. It's wrong. If this is right and this is wrong, then he's well over here.
So it's what you want me to do, hmm?
You tell me. You're the big Papa Reeves. I hear it all over. Go see Mr. Reeves. Him is a good, good man. Make him show you the way. What you want to do to Mummy's wrong, yeah?
What do you want me to do? Just leave her for dead?
Yes.
No.
Is this what Glynis told you she wanted?
Yeah. She said it more than once.
But how can she decide? She's in pain. She's desperate. She can't think beyond that.
Man, Frank, you say pain like it's pins and needles.
I don't believe she really wants you to go through all this.
You don't know. That is what she wants. She's been in and out of clinics regular. Blood tests, transfusions. Transfusions, blood tests, man. Her blood is worthless. Just remains one place in her veins. And them painkillers they give me do less than nothing for her.
What, you give her medication, do you?
Who else?
Boy, that Jonas geezer tried to look on my jacket. You're going to arrest him, officer. You just stay here. Now, your name, please.
Patsy Gilmartin.
And he's your son, yeah?
I've told you!
Jason Reynolds.
It's Gilmartin, you lying little git!
All right. Now, how did all this start?
He won't come inside.
Tell her to hand over my Reeboks.
You get your trainers when I get my chain!
Something's gone missing, is it?
Used to be money. Last night, the little smudger stole my best gold chain.
Mrs. Gilmartin, how come your son ends up half naked in the yard?
Because he wants to show me up. I'm having a go about my chain, right? In the middle of it, he goes ape, rips his clothes off and runs out here screaming about his trainers.
I don't want nothing from you. My dad got them. They ain't nothing to do with you.
Oh, laugh. Yeah, laugh. And when he's creeping round your bedroom lifting what's yours, then laugh again.
You got complaints about strange people in bedrooms, do you? Come on. Let's take this inside and talk about it quietly.
Oh, I've had enough. Like I said, I don't know him.
Sierra Oscar from 643 receiving, over.
Sierra Oscar receiving. Go ahead, June.
Sue, I'm going to need some transport here.
I'll have a PC wait outside.
So we have to talk in a cell?
I can move you to an interview room if you don't mind waiting.
Message for Detective Inspector Burnside. Time's up. I want my client released immediately.
No sooner said than done.
On your bike. Immediately, Sergeant.
You ain't easy, Frank.
I'm just trying to find out what's going on.
You got a warrant?
Don't be stupid.
That's an illegal search, yeah?
Look, you invited me into
Yeah,
this.
to help. Not to build a case.
That's not what I'm doing.
Forget it. Walk away like I never told you nothing.
No.
Why?
Because this is a mess. You came to my work, Dom. You didn't bail me at home. You didn't drop me a whisper. No. You blew a bugle straight through my station. And now I am a possible accessory, before, during, and after the act of murder. And on top of that, I've got to police Papa Reeves.
Oh, well, just cover your back.
Oh, grow up, Dom.
And do what? Grow up and do what, eh? Don't run that on me. Just... soon, yeah? My mum's like... gone.
Oh, no.
No, wait. She's gone, and my dad's already been felt for killing her. So where's he? Gone. And the best you can come up with is grow up.
Well, what do you expect? I've already told you what side I'm coming down on. Now you listen. Your dad and Glynis looked out for me when I was a wooden top. He made a difference. Like he still does to the people round here. So like I said, I owe him.
Hey, your mum bought you in some things.
Nice fur.
It was, as it happens. Looks like a peace offering to me.
Does it? They weren't hers to give.
Oh, come on, Jason. Look, she's out there upset. Is that what you want?
What do you know?
I know that she's come here to make sure you're all right. Is it drugs?
You what?
What are you nicking the money for?
As if I tell you.
Well, what is it then?
Nothing, it ain't important. She lied, you know.
About what?
My name is Reynolds. Has been always. She's Gil Martin, and him.
Who?
Her husband, Mark, too.
I see. Right, get your gear on. I'll have a word with your mum as soon as you're dressed.
He tried to get me in one of them spacesuits. No chance.
Well, at least that covers your dignity.
So why haven't you done it yet? You've had time, and more. I mean, if it's so right in your head, why can't you talk to your son about it? You're on your back foot, Papa.
So you don't believe I thought about this over and over again?
Just for one moment, think about yourself. You're gonna lose everything. The bakery, who you are. You're gonna be the geezer who killed his wife.
So all decided, is it?
Look, boy, don't start with any bit damn foolishness, you hear me?
How's your mum?
Restless. I'm on my way out. Fresh air. As I don't have nothing to do with this.
It's so you feel.
You already started on what to do about my mother before you even spoke to me. That sounds to me like I don't count.
Have you spoken to your mother?
No.
I want you to. You going on like this is all me. Why you no go and speak to her?
It don't make it right. Even if she tells me to my face, tells me to big up myself and accept it, it's still against the rules. Frankie B? See ya.
I'll be around. We're all getting pain on this one, Papa.
Listen, I'm sorry, Frank. I'm sorry that you ended up in this, really. But this is now between me and the wife. Nothing at all to do with you.
It doesn't read like that anymore, Papa.
Sierra Oscar 8 from Sierra Oscar, are you receiving?
Yes, Greg, receiving.
He's on, Tosh.
Oh, cheers, Tom.
Marshall, I'd like you to finish there. Bring the figures up to my office and we'll go through them there, all right?
Sir.
Alice, I think we've landed them both. Now tell... Listen, Carver and Dashwood are on the way back with Connolly and Garner. Cheers, Tom.
Is Detective Sergeant Gregg in contact with Detective Inspector Burnside by any chance?
Not exactly, sir, no.
This is ridiculous!
Will you do me a favour?
What is it?
Will you sit down and talk this through again with Glynis? And Dom.
Frank...
Papa, please. You still have a family. The three of you. Try to work it out together.
Mr. Burnside,
There's a detective here for you.
You're not always right, Papa.
Alistair,
What you got for me?
they're bringing in Connolly and Garner.
Have they got anything out of them?
Sounds like it.
Right. They're to be kept apart from Phelps. Get Phelps out for charging.
You've got work to do.
Yeah. You be sensible. All right.
I'll tell you why he's all sweetness and light. Because he don't want to spend the night. He's scared of the dark.
You're kidding.
He's not afraid of anything else. Not me, not my Joe. But if he could sleep alone, my electricity bills would be halved. What happens now?
What, do you want to press charges?
Oh, I wish.
Look, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Did Jason want to change his name from Reynolds?
He's owed that. Joseph's been a father to him. More than that cow's and his dad.
No, even so, it can't have been easy. Thank you.
You asked him where my chain went?
It went for about a £5.
Now that's enough. Sit down.
I'll deal with them later.
You're just 1 foot out of being locked up. You're not doing anything to me.
I never said I was.
Like I said.
I heard.
Look, can I just say something? If you leave him with us, then we treat it as an abandoned child case. We inform social services, and from there on in, your business is theirs. Mrs. Gilmartin?
Yeah, okay. Swing for you. Oh.
What have they said? Perfect alibi. Said they were watching the St. Ledger with Phelps.
Right. I've got that hard copy.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Get this Phelps business cleared up and I want you in my office.
What's it about, sir?
Don't keep me waiting, Frank.
Ready and waiting.
I'll start by saying that a formal complaint has been issued to your chief inspector as to the treatment of my client. I assume you're ready to charge.
What's this? Funny thing. We just pulled in 2 of your mates, and apparently they were watching the St. Ledger with you at the time of the blag. There were 5 cameras, Brian, old son. You missed one. Yes, Mr. Edwards. I am ready to charge your client. Tom?
What's up?
I hate schools.
Oh, well, you know what Mum used to say. You'll enjoy it when you get there.
Mr. Atkins.
Don't think much of your response time, George. Who's your mate?
Constable Quinnan.
No first name?
No.
Mine's Morris. All the lads down your nick know me, him especially.
So what's the problem? You haven't been on the blower for a bit?
Yeah, 6 weeks since I called you lot. Every other day, usually. Vandalism, break-in, fire-raising. Still, nobody's dropped a bomb on us, yet.
Worse luck.
His uncle painted our kitchen.
You've reported an intruder?
Intruder, yeah. Well? Oh, somewhere in the building. I heard something when I locked up after the cleaners.
You heard what?
Oh, noises, door open, closing, footsteps.
One of the cleaners still working?
No, they'd all gone. I always check them out.
Oh. Still checking out the cleaners, are we, Mr. Atkins?
It's not the first time I felt there was someone here after I'd locked up.
Hold on. First you heard something, then you felt something. You haven't actually seen anybody.
No, right. I'm not seeing nobody, but I'm not doing a number, George, honest. I mean, I've never raised your nick without good reason, have I? Now, have I?
Better knock on some doors.
All right.
It's a big place, Mr. Atkins.
And we're busy people.
And I'm on unpaid overtime.
Where do we start?
Oh, thank you, Constable Quinnan. I'll mention you in dispatches. We'll split up, shall we?
Yeah. You go that way, we'll go this.
Oh, we're sticking together, are we, George?
Standing orders.
Yeah. Well, you take the craft block in the gym. Classroom's open, storeroom's locked, keys marked. We'll meet back here and do the science block, shall we? Properly now. His uncle don't like painting behind pipes.
I was under a motor with a welding torch. Didn't even hear nothing.
But you saw the lorry?
From the front office. I saw it back up off the road.
And tip it?
I thought it was hardcore for roadworks.
Doesn't look much like hardcore, does it?
Not from here, no.
Do you remember anything about the lorry?
It was big and dirty.
Atkins, eh? Is there any aggro between you and him?
Nah. He's just one of them Burks who try to make a friend of you. George this, George that. If I'm in civvies down a pub, fair enough. I'm George to anybody.
You are anybody's, I've heard.
But if I'm in uniform, it's different. I don't want kids and dossers pulling at my sleeve, calling me George. There's got to be some distance. Otherwise it don't work.
How old are you?
Why?
Go on.
I'm 23, why?
Well, it's the vibes, mate. Makes no difference if you're in uniform or not. You're just popular.
Yeah, well, popularity breeds contempt in my book, not respect. Like with soft teachers. And I'm not soft.
No?
You just asked that scum pusher on it a couple of weeks back.
Give him a good kicking, did you?
Just ask him.
So what do you do to caretakers then?
Woman remembers hearing it. 4 o'clock spot on. That's when she feeds her cockatoos.
She didn't bother to look. What chance are in a place like this? Some joker dumps 20 tons of rubble on top of them and no one sees a thing.
Haven't we seen these before?
So, who's the shifty?
Good question, sir. Not me.
Smell of this place.
Happy memories?
Makes me want to puke.
You amaze me, you do. All those birds locked up alongside you hour after hour. All those suckers waiting to part with their pocket money. Licence to print fun, school was.
Wait. Atkins said the storerooms are locked. No, there's nothing here.
We used to set up a target and throw these.
I've seen your darts.
Just for old time's sake, eh?
No, eh?
You're a born gaffer, Garfield. How comes you never got on at school?
They messed me up.
Who?
Teachers. I never rated them, see? I could see straight through them and I knew it. Nah, they're all talk, all sarcasm. Even then I could spot a phony.
So they give you a rough ride, did they?
And got some of it back.
But not all of it, eh? Still, look at you now, eh? All the gear. You stuffed them, George. A prefect now. Yeah. If you could collar one or two of them, eh?
Yeah, now that'll be something. There's more than one or two I'd like to nail.
Right.
Titch Ward, English. He'd be first. Spelling.
Eyes before E's, double C's, dodgy business.
If ever I catch him behind the wheel of a motor, I'm going to go through the car.
If you would just step outside the motor, sir.
How do you spell defective tyres, invalid excise and dangerous parking?
How do you spell breathing?
Right, be a dream come true. Yeah. Not worth the bother, though, eh? Soft as butter, most of them. There was one, though. Horrib in physics. He was a real hard case. He had the class, you know, in his fist.
So, you did all right then in physics?
No chance. But he was a teacher you could respect. I mean, everybody knew where they stood. And if anybody stepped out of line, well, that was it. Hammer.
It was no sugar, wasn't it?
Yes. Thanks very much.
Thank you for coming to see us at such short notice.
Oh, not at all. It's all part of the job.
Oh, it's a very busy one, I know, but the residents are a bit rattled at the moment.
Understandably.
Well, older people tend to overreact. I'm sure a few words from you will settle them down. They were very keen not to have a young officer. Just to see your face will reassure them.
Dave? Open or locked?
Locked.
So what you doing then?
A hedgehog paperweight. You never made one of these?
No.
Oh, I thought everybody did. There's some good stuff in there. Here, I was once in charge of a stall at a school fair, selling pupils' pottery. Couldn't sell a thing. So I turned it into a sort of coconut shy, made a bomb.
Oh, yeah? Must have pleased the kids no end.
Oh, no, but it impressed the art teacher. Lateral thinking, she called it.
I thought your thinking was more the horizontal sort.
She found that out later.
What was that? Atkins! Atkins! That'll do. Let's get back and watch.
What about the gym block?
We're wasting time.
Well, what's the hurry? We're answering a shout, aren't we? It's in the book. No point looking for hassle, is there?
You're not a copper, Quinnan. Why join if you don't want a hassle?
Same reasons you did. Money first, uniform second. Except with you, the uniform comes first.
Talking out your exhaust, Quinnan.
Yeah?
3 loads tipped on our beat in 2 days.
We think it's coming from here.
One load of rubble's very like another, lady.
So you reckon your stuff's going to authorised sites?
As far as I know, yeah. Can't be following them, can I?
We're all in the lounge. Oh, you might know Miss Harvey, former magistrate. Oh, well.
So, you were a painter and decorator before you joined the Met?
2 years with my uncle. Something funny?
No, it's just that it's a bit different walking down the streets in this gear to painter's overalls.
So?
Well, people take notice of you. Do as you say. Ask you for help. Barely started shaving and you're out there making decisions. Standing in witness boxes, mortuaries, being brave. From your first day on the beat, you're a somebody.
I was looking for variety.
Leave it out. What you wanted was status, respect.
Yeah, well, I come unstuck then, ain't I?
Don't know about that. The only thing you get asked for wearing painter's overalls is a price for walloping a Kazi.
The likes of Mr. Nosek don't give a monkeys where it's dumped. The drivers take one load legit to get a receipt, then fly it the rest of the day.
Sierra Oscar to Sierra Oscar 227.
227, go ahead.
Mr. Hanks phoned in. He wants to give you some information about a lorry. Can you go and speak to him?
We're on our way.
I can assure you that the numbers at Sun Hill have been maintained throughout the year.
If I may say so, gentlemen, Sergeant Cryer is quite correct.
Thank you, Mrs.
Miss Harvey. According to my figures, numbers at Sun Hill have not only been maintained, they've been increased.
Then where are they? What are they doing?
That's what we must ask the sergeant, since in our case more appears to mean less.
Well, quite simply, we have faced a mounting tide of crime, which has outstripped the increases in manpower.
Perhaps our recent spate of petty crime has been caused by increased policing elsewhere.
I'm not sure I quite understand you, Miss Harvey.
I'm sure you do, Sergeant. Displacement, I think you call it. Displacement? It means that crime, like rubbish, has to go somewhere, and at the moment we're getting it.
Yes, well, there are as many theories as there are crimes.
I'm right, you know.
About what?
The lack of respect for us out there.
Oh, yeah?
With no status inside the force either. Not even trained properly. Just expected to pick it up as we go along. After 2 years on the beat, you know 2 things. 1, it's the most important job on the force. 2, nobody wants to do it.
Except you?
Right.
And me?
You?
Yeah, especially on a quiet shout like this. What is it?
No, it's nothing. Just thought I saw somebody.
I've been waiting for you two. Just being thorough. Why'd you lock the door?
What door?
This door.
We didn't.
Well, it was locked. I've checked in here how many more times?
Yeah, but there's no sign of forced entry, is there?
Because somebody's got the bloody keys. I'm going to check the office. There's all sorts in there.
Oi, is this a wind-up or what?
What do you mean?
Well, he could have lit the Bunsen before he brought us up there, couldn't he? He said the gym door was locked. Did you try it?
No. What about the door we heard earlier?
Well, we didn't know where he was, did we?
Yeah, but why?
Some grievance, I don't know. He's your mate.
He's not my mate.
Sierra Oscar to Sierra Oscar 218. You receiving over?
Yeah, 218, go ahead.
Are you still off watch, George?
I'm still at the school.
I've got a call near you. How much longer are you going to be?
I've got no idea, Ken.
All right, I'll call in as soon as you know, eh?
Right. Atkins?
Atkins?
Any joy?
Yeah, this is it. I was thinking after you'd gone and remembered something hanging from the wing mirror on the driver's side. A souvenir or something. It was a red devil, I think, red and black. It was only a split second, you know. Might help.
To use an expression for which I apologise to the ladies in advance, let's cut the crap, Sergeant. When Miss Harvey's flat was burgled, your men said that the crime would probably be screened. Oh, what's that? It's a fancy name for ignored.
We've had break-ins, vandalism and harassment. How many have been screened, Sergeant?
I'm afraid I don't have the file to hand.
Do you mean they're pushing this crime wave towards us and not even investigating?
There is a process called screening, and it does make sense to direct our efforts to where we think we have a good chance of catching the offender. But we do not ignore crime. It is filed and it is checked against any subsequent incident in the hope that we might find new evidence.
Don't touch. There'll be prints.
We're getting close.
It's him who's getting close.
What do you mean?
What I say. Whoever left this knows this place inside out. Every brick. He could have been away at any time. Yeah. This is all left out for us to find. Like everything else.
So what's he after?
I don't know. But he's showing us who's boss. This little git's been watching us since we got here.
Nothing at the moment, Ken, but we'll keep you posted.
Okay.
That's it!
What?
The lorry, the souvenir was on the mirror.
Did you clock the plates?
No, they're covered in dirt.
Get him to send another car. We stick out like a nun in a club in this one.
Right. Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 227.
Yes, sir.
We need an unmarked vehicle to follow a suspected fly tipper, Carey Road, Parkside area. Can you assist?
I've heard what you've said, and I understand your anxieties. We must do better.
Yeah.
But no matter how hard we try, we cannot hope to compete with that mythical policeman of our childhood memory, who stood on each and every corner. And nor will more men on the beat solve all the problems. What we need is the eyes, the ears, and the support of the public. Now, you've all heard of neighbourhood watch teams.
Window Stickers United.
A shared concern is a powerful weapon against petty crime. There is nothing the villain hates more than a nosy neighbour.
This is our second circuit of this place. Do you think he's onto us?
I don't know, possibly not. I reckon he might be cruising, lining up a drop.
Slow him.
Gotcha.
Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 227.
Yes, Liv.
We're on Crossways Industrial Estate.
I'm still trying to raise assistance.
Tell them to stick it if we nick this one.
Well, what now? You tell us.
You're not going.
This is a job for the SAS, this, Mr. Atkins.
George, there's a madman on the loose here.
Yeah, who made him mad? That's the question.
Not me. George. Hey.
About time.
Cook and git. Wrigley.
An old boy. He used to come here.
Yeah, sometimes, not often, thank God.
Far enough. Okay, Wrigley. What's going on, eh?
Wrigley!
You've had your fun. So, let's talk, eh? What'd you say?
Far enough! Listen, cretin. We've had enough. Now you're nicked, get it?
Now he says we talk.
We could have this one with his trousers down.
I said a dog van, not a handler, just a van for a dog, right? Thanks.
How long you say you've been doing this?
How long since you had any trouble, Morris? Mr. Atkins to you.
5, 6 weeks.
You've been patrolling this place for 6 weeks?
Outside at first. Then I come inside. Dry up.
How'd you get the keys, Wrigley?
I picked them up here and there.
Why'd you do it?
I fancied it.
Oh.
I started training the dog in the playground. Then I sort of took over. Well, this place was a joke. Anybody could turn it over.
That's the joke. He was the biggest tea leaf in the flaming school.
You planning to do this for a career then? Security?
Yeah, reckon I could.
You can forget it, Wrigley. Our gaffers aren't keen on self-styled vigilantes, not keen at all. Especially them with offensive weapons.
What weapons?
The dog, Wrigley, the dog!
It was under control.
It was attacking police officers.
You should have shown me your warrants.
Oh, what uniform's not good enough for you? Real uniforms.
I told you to back off.
Yeah, well, we're not here to back off from villains like you.
You what?
You
I was keeping your patch clean.
Yeah, well, don't. That's our job.
The one you can't do. It's thanks I should be getting, not earache.
Listen, you. When we get down to the nip, I'm going to turn up your file. You have got a file, haven't you, eh? Like this, is it? Full of social inquiry reports, cautions, defaults, custody records. You're scum, Wrigley. And if we don't sort out con artists like you, people won't know who to trust. Now will they?
He stopped.
Go on, take a look.
He's tipped it.
Hold on, Finn.
Glad you've brought a shovel, Sunshine.
I thought that went down rather well.
Oh, yes?
Oh, yes.
I thought they went a bit quiet at the end.
Oh, that's a good sign. Mine's at rest.
Oh, really?
Would you like a drink before you go?
No, thanks. I better get back.
Thank you for coming, Sergeant. I'm very grateful.
Well, don't worry. We'll keep our eyes open, see what we can do, eh?
Very good, Sergeant. Fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah. Right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I expect I'll be seeing you again soon. I reckon that fella's 2 sandwiches short of a picnic.
Yeah, you could be right.
What you going to do with him?
No idea. Leave it to the experts, eh?
Well, that was a bright suggestion of yours, about making a career of it. It's all a bit of a laugh to you, isn't it?
You couldn't be more wrong. Look, some people are funny, some just peculiar.
How's that?
Well, he's either a harmless loon or something very dangerous. Who's to know? You driving? Strange thing is, if it come to the crunch, I'd rather have him on my side than you.
Excuse me.
Yes, madam.
I think there's something going on in the supermarket.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
There's many masks.
Thanks, sir.
Sierra Oscar from 595. Robbery in progress. Repeat, robbery in progress.
At the supermarket in the precinct. Immediate assistance required.
Get out of the way! They're heading for the back doors. The delivery bay.
Registration number. Delta 459. Charlie Golf uniform.
Right, step on it. I don't have these blokes. There he is. Go for him, Jim. Go for him. Sierra Oscar from DI Burnside. I'm in pursuit of suspect car. Red XR3I. Come on, Jim. Take the left into Gardner Avenue. All units, taking another left. Taking another left.
It's a dead end down here.
Dead end. Wilderford Gardens.
Come here! Hello, Dunlop. You're nicked. Governor! Come here! Let me show you. You're right!
Nice to relax after a hard day's work, isn't it? Dunlop's doing well. 2 hours and we still haven't caught him yet. Wonder if he's gone to his brother-in-law's in Southend again. What was that? Oh, sorry, Farrell. I thought you were going to say something. I mean, for one mad moment, I thought you were going to tell us who the other bloke was. You know, the one who organised it for you. Forget a taking a snatch. You couldn't break wind in a bean factory on your own. What was your last conviction for?
A raid on an off-licence.
It's about your limit, isn't it? And Dunlop?
A man who really looks like he owns an American Express card.
I could beat his IQ with one dart. Do you know, there's a name that keeps going round and round in my head. I can't believe it. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Why would someone like Joey Buchan be knocking about with a couple of retards like you? Well, go on, deny it. Tell me not to be so bleeding stupid. Joey Buchan. Joey Open University Buchan. Get out of it.
No luck on the mask so far.
Hello?
Michael.
Both getaway cars were stolen from multi-stories in Bromley 4 days ago. Oh, the Soccer's report's on your desk. It's not very promising. Still waiting for the elimination prints to be couriered over.
What else?
LIO's looking into employee files, any kind of inside connection. Farrow didn't say anything, did he, Jim?
He smiled a lot.
Was that it?
No, not quite. I've got a list of possibles for our mystery man.
Go on.
Got Eric Chubb, John Frankish, who are mates of Dunlop.
Yeah, well, he can forget Chubb. He's on remand for a diamond job up west.
And Neil Mitchell, Wayne Littman, and Dominic Moore. They've knocked around with Farrow in the past. Well, what?
Tell him, Carver.
Try Joey Buchan.
What about him? You mean for this?
No, for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Farrow named Joey Buchan.
I named Joey Buchan.
Interesting.
Isn't it?
Surprising.
I'm unshockable.
Controversial.
I thought so.
Hunch?
Farrow didn't bat an eyelid when I dropped the name. Carver nearly jumped 3 feet in the air.
Well, he might have mentioned it.
I wasn't sure about it then.
What makes you sure about it now?
It's also the kind of question the Chief Super might ask, especially when he's got half a Fleet Street at his door.
He was this close. I had him in both hands. It was Buchan.
Did you see his face?
No.
Any part of his body?
No.
Did he speak?
Don't be stupid.
Burnside in ex-con vendetta.
I thought you were on my side.
If we didn't follow hunches, we'd still be looking for Christie.
So?
Well, I don't have to spell it out, do I?
Look, forget the psychology degree. Forget the letters to the press and the articles none of us read. And what are you left with? An armed robber who served 6.5 out of 9 in the scrubs.
And who's been out for over a year and made a new life for himself. Sorry, Gov, I just don't see it.
You weren't there. Hello, Patty. Frank Burnside.
DS?
DI.
Congratulations.
Can I have a word?
I haven't seen him.
I have.
You don't look the wine bar type.
It wasn't social.
And this is? She's off school with some virus.
Hello, darling.
Hang on. I'll see if I can get your seat.
So, how's it going? Otherwise?
I survive.
No thanks to that tow rag, eh?
We're only separated. We're not divorced.
Did I speak out of turn?
Yet. So you said you've seen him?
Yeah. Hooded sweatshirt, funny mask, gloves. I'd know him anywhere.
Joey's a changed man, Mr. Burnside. You should know that.
Check him out.
Fancies himself a bit of an athlete, does he?
He fancies himself full stop.
Poser.
Is that him or what?
Could be. Matey at the supermarket wore different training shoes.
Mind your head. I'm in total agony, you slag. I want a doctor.
Shut up. I had a quid on you going to Southend.
All right, bit itchy, are you? They do find some places, don't they? Eh?
What's that all about?
That's Chris Dunlop. They found him in some bloke's loft.
Hello. Belinda Webb. Detective Inspector Burnside. And this is Detective Constable Carver, Scannell CID. Is Joey in?
Well, yes, he is.
We'd like a word with him.
He's with someone at the moment.
Oh, that's all right. Any friend of Joey's, you know.
Do you have a warrant?
Well, we don't usually need a warrant just to say hello, love.
I'll check.
We'll wait here, shall we?
You can come through.
Inspector Burnside.
Hello, Joey. How you keeping?
Not too bad, thanks. Not too bad. And you?
Struggling on.
Good.
DC Carver.
All right. You don't mind if we carry on, dear?
Feel free.
Where was I?
Peace.
Right. PACE, you see, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, was brought in to bridge the credibility gap that I was referring to, as was the Crown Prosecution Service. And yet, and this is my point, what is it, Inspector? Something like half the population still believe that the police will lie under oath in order to get the job done. Now, he can smile, but this is not just paranoia or some popular urban mythology. It's a widely held and deeply rooted perception of the modern British police force, and it's justified, you know. George Dixon does not flex his calves under the blue lamp anymore. He flexes his knuckles behind a riot shield before leading a baton charge. Does that give you enough?
Stamp. The observation you conducted with Inspector Burnside this morning.
Yes, sir.
Suspect in the supermarket investigation?
That's right.
But does he have a name?
I assumed the DI would have already told you, sir.
Inspector Burnside was, shall we say, unusually reticent.
I prefer if you get it off him, sir. I know he didn't want it broadcast around.
We're all on the same side, Stamp. And I don't expect you to play along with the CID party games.
Suspect under observation was Joey Buchan.
Well, now I know why I wanted it kept quiet.
Well, one more. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Joey. Some very good material there.
See you next week.
Absolutely.
Miss Webb. Belinda? Joey was with you all morning?
Yes, he was.
And he didn't go out?
No.
What about his early morning run?
Someone's been doing their homework.
Well, yes. He went out for his early morning run, but that was at about 7:30.
And he was back here at 8?
Well, it was a little before 8 yesterday. Yes, because the news hadn't come on.
And then you were together until just before midday?
Yes.
And neither of you left the house again?
No.
Right. Thanks. Come on, Carver. You know the print's too small for you.
What's this then, Inspector? Does come to give the sleeping dog a good old kicking?
Joey, what can I say? We draw up a list of names that might fit the bill, and then we eliminate them, one by one. I told my governor, I said you can forget Joey Buchan. He's well out of it. But there's 20 grand missing. And there's a kid in hospital with ammonia in her face. He wants this firm.
And rightly so.
Yeah. Thanks for your time. Nice lady.
The mysteries of human attraction.
Where's the mystery? You've seen one robber's dog, you've seen them all.
Get out, Burnside.
You did it, didn't you?
Only one of us knows for certain, and it's not you.
Where's Dunlop?
Dunlop is currently on his way to hospital.
What do you mean? I want to talk to him.
That loft we found him in? He came out in some reaction to the glass fibre insulation.
You're joking.
The doctor took one look at him and insisted we took him straight down to St Margaret's. Mike and Tosh had gone with him.
Yeah, well, I don't want him doing another runner. What did he say before he went?
Nothing really. Just sat there moaning and scratching. You know what it's like when somebody's scratching in front of you. How'd it go with Buchan?
Well, I don't think you like the governor calling his girlfriend a robber's dog.
Not to your face. She give him an alibi.
What else does a robber's dog do?
He's cocky, he's obnoxious, and I don't know why a woman like that goes with him. But I'm still not sold on him being the third man.
I'll get real, Carver. You at a loose end right now?
Well, with Dunlop out of the way, I've only got the car radio robberies, the arson investigation.
Yeah,
right.
good. You can tail Buchan. And, as you seem to be carrying some kind of torch for her, you get to follow Belinda.
Well, follow her where? She only goes to the library.
Now, this does not apply to you, Alistair. But, just to make it more interesting, you don't have to be too discreet, if you know what I mean.
Pretty and punctual.
What's she like?
In a word, librarian.
I'm not interested in her star sign.
She asked me for a warrant.
Oh dear.
And she gave him an alibi.
Sugar?
No thanks.
Has it occurred to you that he might not have done it?
Of course it has. He's extracting the Michael, Patty.
What do you want me to do about it?
Tell me about him. How his mind works. You spent 7 years waiting for him to come out. You kept the house, brought up the kid, and he walked straight past you.
Doesn't work like that.
How does it work?
You're a lot like him, you know. The charm. The way you use people.
I don't use people.
You didn't come here for the gold blend.
Patty, I could get one back for both of us.
I almost feel sorry for the poor cow. I'm going out, but I'm not going out. He uses it as a test. He loved me. Trust me.
You always pass with flying colours.
Whenever he wanted me to cover for him, he used to say, "Tell him we were making love. Really going at it. It's your word against theirs. And if they want details, give them."
Please go away. Leave me alone. He didn't do anything.
Oh, well, I'm very sorry. I'm a DI and you're only a DC. But until you start leaving some of your morals at home, that's the way it's going to stay.
I've waded through sewers. I've collected pieces of people who've been hit by trains.
Bully for you.
I've had a crossbow bolt miss me by that much.
Yeah,
But
all
I don't
right.
mind that, but hassling some innocent woman.
Innocent?
Until proven guilty, yes.
Oh, shut up, Carver.
All right, oh, shut up. But I request I be taken off this case.
Request granted. But don't come to me for backup on some iffy arrest like you have done in the past, like everyone else in this department has done at one time or another. And what the hell are you doing back here? I thought I told you to stick with Buchan.
Yes, Gov.
Well, what's your problem? You suffering a crisis of conscience as well?
No.
Well, then why aren't you following the bloke?
Because Mr. Conway closed the door before I got to it.
No, Conway, you listen. I don't mind the surveillance on me because I can handle it. And I can handle it for two reasons. One, I've spent my whole adult life under police observation.
I think that's something of an overstatement.
No. And two, I haven't done anything. Supermarket job, till snatch, granny rape, nothing. But if I had, Chief Inspector, if I had, you can be damn sure I wouldn't have cocked it up.
Mr. Buchan?
Yes, Mr. Buchan. Not Joey, not Buchan, and not one of the colourful epithets that so many of your officers employ.
For the sake of Miss Webb.
This is for the sake of Miss Webb. I want it stopped, right now, or I go to the papers with this and you can look forward to an early retirement.
I'd prefer not to take any action until I've spoken to the officers involved.
Don't mess me about with your platitudes. This is a formal complaint, and I want Burnside and that DC of his up on a charge of harassment.
Come in.
You wanted to see us, sir?
Yes, and I think you know why.
DC Carver has spoken to me about this morning's unfortunate incident concerning Miss Webb.
Unfortunate?
Please continue, Inspector.
I would like to stress that this was a legitimate surveillance based on information received.
Mr. Buchan's version seems a little less than legitimate.
Miss Webb's version?
Carver?
Inspector Burnside ordered me to conduct observation on Miss Webb. My instructions were to follow her and report her movements.
Was she under suspicion?
Yes, sir, she was.
For what?
We believe that she may have had some connection with yesterday's supermarket robbery.
Well, leaving aside how very unlikely that really is, how come you let her see you?
Well, I was unaware that she had at the time.
You didn't realise until you found her crying in the alleyway.
Well, it was that moment, yes. I knew she'd seen me.
What happened then?
Well, sir, I returned immediately and reported to Inspector Burnside.
Harassment, Conway, it's harassment, and you know it.
Detective Constable Carver, did Inspector Burnside order you to make your presence felt?
No, sir. I'm afraid I was merely careless.
All this after having entered my home without a warrant, I might add, and having ascertained from me, and more importantly from Miss Webb, that I was at home throughout yesterday morning.
Mr. Buchan's alibi was confirmed.
Miss Webb did confirm it, yes. But I had, and still have, reason to disbelieve her.
I could have been having an audience with the Pope and it wouldn't have been good enough for you. Well, do you want to know what we were doing? Do you want to hear it? Well, Belinda, tell them. Tell them we've no private life as it is, anyway.
Miss Webb?
Do I have to?
Tell them.
We were...
In bed. Making love. One robber's dog's as good as another, eh?
Think she'll stick to it?
This time, yeah.
Or there'll be a next time?
There always is.
Come this way, I'm telling you. But the security man said he came downstairs. He didn't go out the front or the side door. He must have come this way.
You go that way. I'll try the assembly area again.
The big four then, yeah? Yeah, we usual. Yeah, all right. Pop down the estate for us. Yeah.
George?
Okay.
You wanted on the phone?
Cheers. Yep. So, I can leave you with...
You sure?
That and that. That's fine. No problem?
Right, what time?
Good. All right. Okay. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Sarge.
Right, I'll be there.
Sarge! Sarge! Give us a moment, Paul.
Sure.
Thanks. Sergeant Roach, isn't it? It seems as though we've wasted your time. There doesn't appear to be anything missing.
Well, what exactly happened? All I got was a garbled message that there was a suspect on the premises.
A workman.
Miss Pine's my secretary. She phoned you.
Well, I found him. He was going through Mr. Rennie's desk.
Nobody in the office?
They'd all gone to lunch.
I happened to come back early to catch up on some work.
And you disturbed him?
I asked him what he was doing. He just smiled, picked up his toolbox and walked out.
There's been a lot of petty thieving lately. Staff have lost wallets and purses.
Can you describe this man?
Small. Fair hair, in his 40s. He wore a powder blue overall with the Merrill Air logo.
Merrill Air?
They maintain our air conditioning.
Look, I wish you'd keep still. I shouldn't be doing this, you know that.
Well, you volunteered, didn't you?
Volunteered, huh? Grass are getting nicked, I think, were the actual words you used, if my memory serves me right.
Now, would I pull a stroke like that?
Yes.
I don't know which one looks the dodgiest.
You couldn't stand around on the street corner like that in the old days.
Garfield thinks this job's as big as the French Connection.
Informants fantasise. Almost worse than coppers.
Look, I'm the one taking a chance here, not you.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, you know I'm gonna have to go missing after this, don't you?
Look, you did say 2:15, didn't you?
2:15, 2:30, you know.
You said 2:15.
Look, you don't argue about the time with fellas like this, all right?
Are you scared?
Yeah. Well, you would be. Wait till you see him.
I think he's got visions of commissioners' commendations, wants to be mentioned in dispatches, that kind of thing.
It won't do him any good.
I've heard you've collected a few in your time.
Like I said, it won't do him any good.
Your home phone number in case I need to get in touch.
Here's my card.
Oh, cheers. Well, there's not much more we can do.
Probably when you've left, somebody will find their purse gone or something. That's what usually happens, isn't it?
Well, thanks for your prompt response. Sorry to have wasted your time.
No, Miss Pine did the right thing. Don't hesitate to pick up the phone. You never know.
Look, you've got 2 minutes and that's it.
Oh, beer. He was desperate.
Look, are you sure it's drugs?
I didn't say it was drugs, did I? I said it was a bit of gear. He'd have no trouble getting rid of drugs, would he?
I can't trust a word you say. You better not be having me on, Desmond.
Hi.
He's a big lad. You can go in first, Sarge.
Well, Garfield knows what he's doing.
I understand you've got a bit of gear for sale. What's he... Oh, nice, yeah. Come and have a look.
That's it. Right, let's go. All right. Don't panic. Just take it nice and easy. All right. That's it. Over you go.
You got any ammunition for it?
All right, you stay with the motor and keep it running, all right?
Right, Sarge.
All right, Sarge, I've got him.
Right. You're under arrest, son.
So what do they make here, anyway?
It's a navigational equipment for aircraft.
They haven't missed out on the obvious, have they?
Like what?
Well, that the air conditioning man was genuine.
Merrill Air Conditioning Limited have got a service contract with the property developer. The last maintenance call was 3 weeks ago. Might not be a bad idea to check and see if there's any walk-in thefts that have coincided with the last visit. Right, we spent enough time here. Let's get back to the Dream Factory, do some work.
You seen Jim?
I thought he was with you.
Oh, we split up.
Carver, you're receiving, over. Carver, will you come in? Where are you? Over.
Right, okay, let's take it easy, shall we?
Right, Sarge.
In. Right, let's go.
Thanks for your help, lads.
You seen my colleague about? The one I came in with?
No, as far as I know, he's still in a warehouse. I'd ring, but there's no one there. They go to lunch at a different time than the office staff.
I'll go down there.
Right, I want a word with Mr. James. Now, you tell me why you didn't check out this man from Merrill Air.
Merrill Air Limited are regular visitors to the building.
That's no excuse.
Oh, it was busy. The office staff were going to lunch. He came through the door as usual.
And you didn't challenge him. You're a security officer. It's your job. What's your full name?
Albert James.
Address?
14 Pringle Square.
14 Pringle... That's a doss house off Peter Street, isn't it?
Single men's lodgings.
How long you had this job?
2 weeks.
Before that?
On a dole.
And before that?
I was inside. Nothing big. I'm going straight now. I can show you references. But this is the first proper job I've had.
What kind of training have you had for this job?
None. Gave me a uniform, stuck me on a door.
Terrific.
Well, you're not going to tell him, are you? Look, I need this job.
I'll think about it.
All right, what's your name?
Maybe he's a strong silent type.
We'll find out sooner or later.
Jim? Jim, where are you?
What have you been doing? Come on, mate. Need to get you to hospital. I'm all right.
Why didn't you use your radio?
I tried. Couldn't reach it. Come on.
Imitation firearm. It's disgraceful.
Yeah, well, it never fooled me.
Just booking for the time being, eh, Alec?
When I was a kid, I could do that standing on my hands. And suck a lolly at the same time.
More money for out your pockets?
Yeah, money. Never had no money.
Any officers in the vicinity of Mapleton Business Park can assist DS Roach to search commercial premises. Over.
171, I'm almost on top of it.
Thank you, Reg. Any other takers? Over.
I'll check with LIO, see if they've got anything involved in
and check with robbery
Come on,
squad.
right
Yeah,
up.
they're all out on the job. They won't be in for a few days.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Right, young man. Name. If I don't have your name, I can't even consider bail. It's as simple as that. And to be quite honest, I don't care a monkey's. You can either stay here in custody or go home to your girlfriend or whatever. Your choice, mate.
We'll find out your name if you've been in trouble before.
Look, once this is over and we've got your fingerprints, you refuse them your fingerprints.
We can obtain authority from a magistrate to have them taken by force. And believe me, son, if it takes half the people in this building, we're going to get them one way or the other. Well?
Duffy. David Duffy.
That's more like it, Mr. Duffy. Now, could I have your age, please, date of birth and address?
Now, you two start from the warehouse and work towards the assembly area. All rooms are to be opened and searched.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he just might be cheeky enough to try the same thing at other offices on another estate.
And whether he's been seen on any of the other floors. Hollis? Hollis? You go with those two. Work down from the roof.
Wouldn't it be better if I tried the other buildings next door?
Yeah, but there's got to be something. There's something on the bloke somewhere. While you're at it, we need an ambulance for Carver. I think we should have an ambulance on permanent standby for him.
Can't take him anywhere, can you?
What do you reckon? Take the statements and call it a day? I mean, the suspect must have legged it by now.
No. He might still be hiding in the premises. I'm not taking any chances. I want the place searched thoroughly. Come on.
Got some off-licence robberies that could be down to our Mr. No-Name.
Duffy. David Duffy.
Oh, so we do have a name then.
Come on, Duffy, where did you get this?
Had it a long time. I bought it in a sale.
Davis?
Right.
Yeah. Feeling in there. You wait here, mate. Hollis, what do you think you're doing?
I'm just having a quick coffee.
One of your colleagues has been attacked and all you can think of is coffee?
Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry.
Right, you can take statements. Upstairs, main office on the left.
So what do you reckon, Bob?
What, Garfield? Ah, he's shaping up.
Still fired up over it. Have we got a case?
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. At least he doesn't sit around all day saying, "What should I do now, Sarge?"
That Duffy's a strange lad.
He's probably just a bit stupid. And I know what you mean, Ali. It all seems a bit iffy. But I'm going to let the lad run with it. It might do him some good. Where's that address and I'll get Duffy's home checked out.
Hey, what about upstairs? Should we let them know?
Well, they're busy, aren't they?
Now you come to mention it. I think they are.
Ah, Bob, there you are. Look, about this five-a-side team sports and leisure are trying to fix up.
Well, young Garfield's organising that, sir. But he's busy collaring villains at the moment.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
He's doing all right.
Good.
Right. We're going to ask you some questions about the imitation firearm and the offences that you've committed. Now, behind me is a tape recorder. When we're ready, the recorder will be switched on. We'll introduce ourselves, state the date, time, and remind you of the caution. Then we'll begin, OK? Come here, let me do it. Oh.
What kind of robberies?
Oh, small stuff mainly, you know, off licences, milkmen, that sort of thing. But they all go down in the book as big stuff.
Oh, robbery squad.
Well, they're all tied up at the moment.
Oh, nice one.
I think we should be able to clear up a lot of outstanding crimes with this. And when the dust is settled, I want to put Garfield up for a commendation.
The tape recorder's broken.
So, what's the problem? Haven't you got a pen? But don't you know how to do joined-up writing anymore?
Yes, Sarge.
Tape facilities. Some stations still using a slate. These kids don't know how lucky they are. Not like our day, Bob.
Oh, no, sir, not like our day.
Added up to £310 and... Oh, damn it. Are you sure you don't want to do this?
No, thanks.
Mr. Roach, I know you've got a job to do.
Shall I carry on?
Yeah, you can. But so have we. Please, can we call this search off now so that my staff can get on with their work?
Well, you called us in, didn't you?
That was over an hour ago and you found nothing missing.
One of my officers has been injured by this man.
I appreciate that, Sergeant, but you have searched the building twice and questioned all my staff.
Well, we're about finished here anyway. All right, lads, wind it up.
Look, I'll ring you if I get any other information.
Yeah, you do that, and thanks for your cooperation.
Mild concussion.
I feel fine. How long will I be kept in?
We'll keep you in overnight just to be on the safe side. When you finish in here, nurse, take Mr. Carver to Charlotte Ward. I'll see him in the morning. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Right. I shall need some particulars.
A malingerer, as you've obviously noticed. He's incredibly boring, and to be frank, most of his habits are absolutely disgusting. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and remember, any exertion's bad for you.
And then I did a corner shop.
Off Lingfield Way.
Off Lingf... Oh, look, you couldn't go and get some more statement forms, could you?
Sure.
And a sandwich. Cheers.
Sierra Oscar 171, receiving, over.
DS Roach from Sierra Oscar, are you receiving? Over.
Go ahead.
PC Hollis has a suspect vehicle under surveillance on Mapleton Business Park. Would you meet him at junction of Unit 5?
Well, tell him to stay put. Don't do anything until I get there.
Patient next door's going later this evening. Thought you might like the fruit.
Thank you. Do these work?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, you're spoiling me.
Come on.
It's the white van on the left. I've seen a guy go in, blue overalls.
Blue overalls?
Yeah. And look, there's something very funny. Every time I walk past, my RT's cracking up.
171 from Sierra Oscar, over.
You're 171 receiving, over.
Re your suspect vehicle. The vehicle has been on hire for 2 days. It is not stolen. Repeat, not stolen. A check is being made on the name of the man who hired the vehicle.
Hang the phone.
When the information is available, I'll get back to you.
Get him, Hollis. Get him. Hey!
It was two of them. I didn't even have a chance to get their number.
Right, that's it. There's no more, is there?
Only the ones I did last year.
Last year?
David, you've admitted about 20 offences. We're going to check these out, you know.
I know, I did them.
Well, how many more?
15, maybe more.
Oh.
We've managed to locate your mother. She's on her way.
No, she'd kill me.
That's all right.
Yes, Sergeant.
What if I told you that data on your screens out there has been picked up by electronic equipment outside?
I don't believe you.
And your thief, who came in here wearing these overalls, wasn't after wallets or handbags. If I'm not very much mistaken, he was here for a completely different reason. You've also been bugged, Mr. Rennes. Now you tell me exactly what you make here.
We make parts for navigation systems, which are specially designed for a major aircraft manufacturer.
For use in a civil aircraft?
Yes.
But they also make military aircraft, is that right?
Yes.
At the very least, we are talking industrial espionage. But from the type of sophisticated equipment used, it could be more serious, which is not surprising. Your security here is almost non-existent. Look what you got around you. You've got a couple of security men who couldn't suss out Donald Duck.
The security men are here for insurance purposes. They can't protect us from industrial espionage. You can't effectively screen against a determined person with the know-how unless you're willing to spend a great deal of money, which we can't afford. And even then, there's no guarantee.
Well, we haven't found the men responsible for this. I doubt now whether we'll ever find them. If I was you, I would close this place down for the rest of the day, get the cleaners in to do a thorough job before you lose anything else. Now, I got to report this. No doubt the ministry will be in touch with you in due course.
But we could lose the contract.
That's your problem, Mr. Rennes. You're on the big league now.
You sure you never made all this up, Duffy?
It's the truth, honest.
I don't know why we've never come across you before.
Right. What I want you to do is read the statement through. And if there's anything that's not right, you can alter it, correct it, or in fact add anything to it that you wish. Now, I can't say fairer than that, can I? Take your time.
How can he make a statement? He can't even read or write properly. Ring the school, they'll tell you.
School?
David's school. Ring them up, they'll tell you he's a damn nuisance. Always playing truant, always making up stories.
Right, Mrs. Duffy.
What have you been up to now?
Nothing, Mum, honest.
He attempted to sell an imitation firearm to this officer. And when he was questioned, he admitted to other offences, including robbery.
I didn't, Mum, honest. It's a pack of lies.
He's given me a statement.
Mrs. Duffy, how old is David?
Has he signed it?
No, not yet.
Mrs. Duffy, David's age.
He'll be 16 next birthday.
But he said he was 19.
There you are. What did I tell you? Always telling bleeding lies.
I'm sorry, Mum.
Take Mrs. Duffy and David to the charge room and bail him.
Yeah, but Sarge...
Now, accommodation, George.
Yeah, but I know he's committed those crimes. He must have.
He's a juvenile. You cannot take a statement from a juvenile unless a parent or a guardian are there, and you know that. I mean, he can hardly read.
Yeah, well, can't I interview him with his mother?
You saw him with his mother. He's not going to admit to anything in front of her.
Yeah, but the evidence in these statements would have convicted him. It would have cleared up a lot of unsolved cases. I mean, why should he get away with it?
And we won't get away with it forever. Because one thing's for sure, he's not going to be a juvenile forever.